Hi everybody, I'm Sarah. Today I'm here because I want to explain to you Jane Eyre. Jane Eyre is a novel written in the 19th century, more precisely in 1847, by Currer. Currer was actually the pen name of Charlotte Brönte, who was one of the three Brönte sisters, three amazing writers who had to choose a pen name to hide, let's say, the fact that they were women. So Jane Eyre talks about, of course, Jane. Jane grows up in Gateshead with her aunt. She's an orphan and her aunt always treated her with cold manners. Then she goes to Lowood School, where she's also really bad treated, she's not appreciated, but anyways she wants to study to be independent and be a teacher. She finds a job at Thorfield Hall as a governess, so not probably as a teacher, and there she falls in love with Mr. Rochester. So he proposes to her and she accepts, let's say. She says yes, but one night she wakes up and she sees a figure who tears her wedding veil. And the next day at the wedding, a stranger comes up to her and tells her that Mr. Rochester had already a wife, a mad woman called Myrta. At this point she cannot stand the situation anymore and she decides to go to her cousin's house, Moor House, where she meets St. John Rivers. He proposed to her but she doesn't accept, and one night she hears the voice of Mr. Rochester. She decided to go to Moor House to find her herself and to really find peace and understand who she was and what she wanted to do with her life. When she comes back to Thorfield Hall, she finds out that Bertha Mason, when she discovered that her husband proposed to another woman, she committed suicide, but before doing that she burned the house, and this caused also some illnesses to Mr. Rochester. At the end, let's say there is an happy ending because they finally get married, they love each other, and they're finally free and relaxed, and they go live at Ferndean. Talking about the characters, Jane first of all. Jane is kind of an anti-Victorian heroine. In fact, she goes against the Victorian rules. She wants to study, to be independent, she's rebellious, she's passionate, but at the same time she needs love, she needs affection, and also she represents the woman who has to control her own life. In fact, we should all have our goals in life and we should do everything to achieve them, even if this means, for example, reject a lover, because when St. John Rivers proposed to her, she says no, because she's a woman, she can choose for herself and she doesn't need to be always next to a man, because she's worth by herself. In fact, she wants to study to be spiritually independent, even though she will never reach a complete independence. Plus, she believes in the equality between men and women and also social classes. She doesn't mind if a man is rich or not. The only thing that matters to her is true love. And also that's why she is seen also as an unwoman woman, because she doesn't represent the perfect Victorian woman, but she's very rebellious. Plus she is the narrating voice of this novel, and she's always very straightforward. She always tells the reader what she thinks, and without any filter, let's say. On the other side, the other protagonist, let's say, is Mr. Rochester. Mr. Rochester is kind of a Byronic hero, but in a different way. In fact, according to Byron, the Byronic hero was that passionate man who was loved and admired by everybody, but he couldn't feel that love, and it was very mysterious. But in this novel, Mr. Rochester is not the classic Byronic hero attracted by the physical appearance. In fact, he loves Jane for who she is, for her personality, and not for how she looks. The language that Charlotte Bronte decides to use is a language that changes according to the mood of the narrator and to the emotions. Plus, she decides to use some Gothic symbols and images. For example, when Jane lives in Thornfield Hall, when she didn't knew that the Martha Besson lived there too, and that she was a mad woman, she always heard some bruises and strange noises who, let's say, disturbed her. And this also is a particular, let's say, characteristic of Gothic novels. So the main themes of this novel are childhood and education, as we have seen, but also independence and the, let's say, equality between social classes. The fact that everyone is the same spiritually, and we shouldn't, let's say, classify people according to their status. I really hope I was useful and that I explained this novel very well. I personally enjoyed it a lot. And yeah, that's all. Bye!